It is September 3rd, 2025. And did you know you just narrowly survived an asteroid attack? This is Inverted World Live. What's up, everybody? You are now a survivor. We made it. Another asteroid has just whizzed by Earth, and we are still here. What's up? Welcome to Inverted World Live. We're glad you're here. I'm your host, Cashman. This is a call-in show. In about 30 or so minutes, we're going to go to your phone calls. The link to call-in is pinned in the chat on Rumble and YouTube. We'd love to hear from you. You can call us and tell us some strange stories, or you can call and tell us about something you might have thoughts on that we talked about in the first 30 minutes of this episode. But I am, of course, joined by Brandon. What's up?
What's up, Shane? What's up, Inverted fans? Welcome back. It's great to have you here for another night of weirdness. Let's jump in.
Let's do it, man. Oh, man. So real quick, I just find it hilarious, the asteroid thing, because there's been so many articles about asteroids trying to take us out, or stories about asteroids that are on their way that won't be here until 2032. And this is not about even the hostile probe. That's a whole other situation. But we have plane-sized, bus-sized, house-sized, city-sized, and at some point, Earth-sized asteroids that are all coming towards us at any moment. At some point, there might be Mercury-sized, Jupiter-sized asteroids when they run out of things that are Earth-sized to attack us and scare you. But this was today, just, let's see, an hour and a half ago. This asteroid, this one in particular, was a plane-sized asteroid. It skimmed by Earth, and I could not talk about it because this is all part of the doom economy. That they want you afraid. It was in February. We had the city-sized Earth killer. Then they added two more city-sized Earth killer asteroids heading towards us. And depending on where you look today, today's asteroid is either bus-sized or plane-sized. I don't know what they're doing and what measurements they're working within, but maybe it's a metric system for some. For us, we're smarter than that. But this is from the Daily Mail today. NASA warns a huge asteroid the size of a commercial jet will skim past Earth tomorrow. This is from yesterday, but it was earlier today, at blistering speeds of over 28,000 miles per hour. I went to public school. I don't know how to read. An asteroid the size of a commercial jet plane will skim past Earth tonight, NASA has warned. They say is 124 feet long. This giant space rock will make an exceptionally close pass of our planet at blistering speeds of over 28,000 miles per hour. Is that a real image of the asteroid, Brandon?
I honestly have absolutely no idea if that's real or not.
I don't know. I'm going to say no.
I've seen realer pictures that you thought were fake for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know about this one. I love it's hard to see it here because of the cut. Let me see if I can widen this up. But this is
it's like something that they just pulled out of the bottom of the ocean, which is real space.
Let me see if I can break this down a little bit so you can
there
see
we go.
this
Look
here.
at this.
So there is this little guy to the right here is my favorite part here. I gotta move this up because it has an arrow kind of just pointed to this little tiny little insignificant dot there on the screen. And it's just kind of like that's the one right there. That's it.
Oh, that one?
Yeah,
Man.
we know for sure that that's it.
That's really skimming us, isn't it?
That's pretty hilarious.
So, at its closest point, the asteroid will be just 135,000 miles away from the surface of Earth. So, we're talking about skimming. We're putting a lot of power into the word skim. So, doing a lot of heavy lifting, skimming, because it is still a bit away. But, as it says, that is just over half the distance between Earth and the moon, allegedly. I'm editorializing. The asteroid, dubbed 2025 QD8, will make its pass of Earth at 8:56 BST time, which was around 8. Early. It's funny. Another article I read said 8:30, but this one says 8:56. So, but it looks like we're still here, unless we've all been destroyed, and this is hell. At almost 40 meters in diameter, this chunk of debris has the potential to be a city killer. There we go. take a drink. City killer, that's the word. If it were to collide with the planet. However, scientists say there is no reason to be worried. According to NASA, my favorite institution in the world, and the European Space Agency, which is, I'm sure, just as reputable, 2025 QD8 will harmlessly whiz past Earth. Whiz. Without any risk of collision. I love the headlines and how they match with like the last few paragraphs of these doom economy stories, because what dangerously, skimming past Earth winds up just harmlessly whizzing past Earth.
Yeah.
But look at it. It looks harmless, right? This very, very real looking asteroid. What does it say beneath it? A huge asteroid the size of a commercial jet plane will skim. So it doesn't even say. Okay, it says stock image. I wonder what that exactly means.
So
stock image is in someone made it, or stock image is in Elon took that picture with one of his robots.
It's an image that we had in stock.
But where did it come from?
That's what I mean. It's just one of those. It's like the. You ever buy like a picture frame at the store and there's already a picture in it?
Yeah.
It's kind of I think what that is.
This is like one of the asteroid families.
Yeah, it's just a poster.
And is that picture next to it? That's fake as well, right? Is that or is
that
what
looks
Earth looks like?
This looks like this was generated on a machine of some sort. The other one looks like it was a live photograph
looks like
off of somebody's Nokia
looks
phone.
like something NASA would make. But were you gonna say something?
Yeah. So let me just toss you right in the deep end here, Shane.
Okay. Wow.
How do we think that they would there would be like a general alarm if this thing was actually in danger of impacting anywhere on this planet? They've already called it a possible city killer. So that means, and it's going how fast? 28,000 kilometers or miles per hour. One of the two. One's way faster than the other.
Yep.
That thing is gonna make a pretty sizable impact if it's in danger of hitting the planet. That's usually like an ELE level, like, hey, get your shit, get to high ground, something, but
I didn't get those warnings.
Well, yeah, they didn't put them out.
It was just an article in the Daily Mail.
They obviously don't want to incite fear or panic over something like this. So it makes me wonder if we were actually in danger of being hit by this, would they even tell us?
It depends on the city. If it was going to hit DC, we wouldn't hear the end of it. And if it was going to hit Detroit, it would be an article, and everyone would just be like, "All right, I hope it's okay." Unless Detroit could turn that around and turn this into a real, money making scheme.
I mean, we've seen the movies.
Right. It could be a renaissance for Detroit.
Complete chaos. Drugstores being robbed, free for all, third world country type, just level looting and stuff like that. People being killed, robbed left and right because it doesn't matter. Just absolute anarchy in the street.
Yeah.
Do you think that they would rather have just everyone chill and then whoops, city falls off the face of the planet? We'll rebuild. No. Let's stay strong, America forever. No.
They want us panicking. I think they want us distracted and freaking out. It's like a snowpocalypse. Do you ever have those in Chicago where they call it the snow? Is that what they call it, snowpocalypse? Where they freak you out about some giant snowstorm. Everyone goes out and buys a bunch of shovels and sand and whatnot and salt, and then nothing really big happens.
No, well, see, in Chicago's case, a lot of times the storm actually does show up.
Yeah.
I've seen some pretty nasty shit there in my 30 years plus there.
We've had horrible storms and they get hyped, but there's been so many times in my childhood in New York where it's like, it's a nothing.
We've had storms show up that were devastating, and no one even knew they were coming.
Yeah. Well,
they didn't even. Well, oh yeah. By the way, it's gonna snow in 2 hours. It's not gonna stop for 5 days. You guys are all gonna have to, dig yourselves out of your homes.
We got one on April Fool's Day when I was a kid, and that was when I realized it's all fake. That's when I realized that they're just pranking us. This is fake.
How do you trust that?
Totally fake. It's a hoax. There's no way this is real. It was like 4 feet of snow on April Fool's Day. But I don't know. I think most of these things are just NASA trying to sustain a budget, and they have to keep us in fear so they don't get slashed like USAID got slashed, which was happening. NASA took a lot of hits earlier this year. Where I just want to see if there's anything else pertinent in the story. But following its discovery earlier this year, see, they knew about it, and now they're just hyping it up now. The Asteroid 2025 QD8. It sounds like a like a SoundCloud rapper every time I read that. It was spotted by a group of amateur astronomers from the Virtual Telescope Project. Using a 17-inch telescope, the astronomers managed to capture an image of, I'm not even going to say it again, the asteroid, while it was 2.4 million miles from Earth, which is fake numbers. Those are just made up. They confirmed that the asteroid is between 17 and 38 meters wide and is traveling directly towards Earth. Of all places in all of fake space, it's coming for us, people, because I guess we deserve it. That's what NASA thinks. There's another selfie of the asteroid. The size of the asteroid is an estimate based on the amount of light reflecting off its surface, which means that measurements cannot be entirely certain. Go figure. Look at the pictures they're giving us here. I mean, that one might as well be the hostile probe.
They look like Minecraft maps.
Are those two on the right not the same pictures we saw from the aggressive, hostile alien
They
probe?
were extremely similar, yes. They were just flying neon cucumbers everywhere. I remember citing that. Kind of similar. This actually is like the same photo.
Dude, that is literally the same photo.
That looks exactly like it, honestly. I have to go back and look through the links to find out what we covered that day, but that actually looks pretty similar now that you mention it.
They're just throwing it all together. Well, that's that. You guys survived. I just want to make sure you had a reason to celebrate tonight. You made it. There's a whole bunch. I mean, it's funny. Let me see if I still have this link up. But there was a list of. I was curious how many asteroids skim past Earth, and I guess I got rid of that link by accident.
The JPL.
Oh
link?
yeah, no, I sent it to you. That's right.
I've got it.
And I think there was like 5 today. On the list from this Jet Propulsion Labs website. Take a look at this.
The good old JPL.
So. That top one is, so here we go. You see the airplane size,
right?
We got the bus size.
Now those are both marked September 3rd, 2025.
All these on this page that I sent are today. So it wasn't even just a one, because the house size, no one cared. If there wasn't an airplane sized one or a bus sized one, they might have reported on the house sized one. But since we had the bus and airplane sized one, the house one just got lost.
I actually, leaving the compound last night, when I got down, whatever the hell that is, going back to Seatown.
Yep.
I looked up and I saw a blue dot burn straight across into the horizon and speck out, and it turned green again right before the end. And I was like, oh, nice.
Sweet.
So I don't know if this is remnants of
Maybe
we're experiencing a small meteorite shower. What's going on?
Maybe.
But
I
definitely saw one this morning, which was
awesome.
pretty cool. It was like perfect timing.
I love seeing that. What else was on here? Was there another? Is there a smaller size listed?
They just keep going. There's just a bunch of airplanes coming.
But they're all from today.
Yeah.
So this is from NASA's site on the JPL site. Just letting you know, just today.
We don't. You got to understand too, in America, we don't generally take lightly to people threatening us with airplane-sized things in the month of September. We don't do that in this country. So the fact that they have threatened us with not one but 3 airplane-sized meteorites today is very disconcerting.
That's a lot of 9/11s. We don't need that. Space. So
yeah.
Where did I want to go next with this? Real quick, what time we got? Let's just talk about Stephen Hawking. I don't want to forget Stephen Hawking, and we can start with Stephen Hawking. This is a recent article from the end of August. This one where he's predicting that what did he say? Hawking predicted. I'm going to read it again the way they wanted me to read it. Hawking predicted it. Experts now say time itself will end on this date. Welcome to part 2 of the Doom Economy tonight. But everyone's favorite paraplegic fake scientist, Stephen Hawking, they say was right all along. As the universe is currently in constant expansion, moving beyond what humans can see, an end supposed to be something hard to predict. But what happens when this ends? Will it shrink again? A black hole will eventually eat everything. Will the explosion of our sun cause mass destruction? These are some questions that scientists and astronomers have been wondering for decades. But the answer was revealed using an old theory from Hawking, one of the most impactful physicists of our time. That's right. Let's scroll down here. Between one of the reasons the universe could end, a black hole consuming everything, is among the considered theories about, but not in the way sci-fi lovers think. I think this article was written by AI because it's
That
just,
or somebody impacted by the effects
or
of marijuana.
or an H-1B trying to use English. But I'll digress and try to go through this. The universe is filled with these cosmic devourers that consume everything in its way, from stars to planets, comets, and even light itself cannot escape. Consuming the universe would take billions of years if the expansion suddenly stopped. The end of the universe would cause not only all matter to fade, but it would also end the concept of time. If a black hole is the last thing standing in the vast cosmos, and scientists do know what happens inside of it, then there would be no time like we know it.
In fairness, the concept of time ends with humans.
Unless you remember,
We honestly think that other
time
animals
travel.
have adapted the concept of time.
To some degree, yeah, like migratory animals. They have some concept of
Right,
like
but
a
that's-
season is changing.
Right,
but
but
they're not
that's
like on a clock.
That's seasonal. That
Yeah.
has really nothing to do with time so much as
They're not- yeah.
repetition.
Like having lunch breaks. They're
Yeah.
not like, yeah.
They could just tell
slaves
by
to it.
temperature variance in the air and stuff like that. Like, oh, hey, it's time to get our asses out of here and head
Yeah.
south, But
Yep. Yeah, no, it's us really who are enslaved by the clock.
yeah,
For sure.
We
Unless you
invented
found
it.
a way to travel outside of your consciousness, like we read on episode 100, and time travel back and forth, which, the CIA seems to want to harness. The end of the universe would cause not only all matter to fade, but it would also end the concept of time. All right, we read that. If a black hole is the last thing standing in the vast cosmos, all right, I'm just going to skip because this article is just very poorly written. But I really just want to mention Stephen Hawking and how this is relevant to our doom economy. And they're saying that basically this is how everything ends. For a long time, skipping down, scientists thought the universe could last almost forever. It's a funny phrase, something like a 1 with 1,100 zeros after it. But a new study out of Radboud University in the Netherlands, that might be fake, suggests the clock might run out much sooner. The team, made up of physicist Michael Wondrak and mathematician Walter van Suljikorn, reworked an idea first proposed by Stephen Hawking. Hawking believed that black holes don't just grow endlessly, as Einstein's theory once suggested, but that they would slowly leak energy until they fade away. So they used this framework to decide when the world might end and all that stuff. But what they didn't predict, and I'm going to pull up that next article, is, and maybe you guys know where this is all going, is that Stephen Hawking was homies with Jeffrey Epstein. And did anyone predict that one? And have you seen the emails and the photos of him on the island? The island was wheelchair accessible. So that's wonderful.
Hey, handicapped people are rich too.
Yep. But this has been coming out lately because everyone's talking about the Epstein stuff again. The survivors, we might get to that. The alleged survivors did the whole thing today, talking about they're going to release lists of their own client list names. We'll see. Got a lot of thoughts on that. But Hawking has then reemerged into the conversation because it's just a crazy thing to think about. But this is from the Miami Herald from last year. Just to give an overview for those who were not aware about any of this. Epstein befriended a slew of scientists. New records contain orgy allegation against one. I think we know which one that is. The late scientist Stephen Hawking made a name for himself through his exploration of the physics of black holes, but it is his connection to the holder of one of the world's most notorious black books, the late sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, and that is a new one for me, out of the Miami Herald. We've seen disgraced financier, but I haven't seen the late sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. No, fair enough. Better than disgraced financier. That has him, Stephen Hawking, in the news again. A just unsealed 2015 email from Epstein to his former girlfriend and co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell suggests Hawking was involved in the culture of sex abuse that thrived on Epstein's private island. The email was included in discovery in connection with a defamation lawsuit filed by Virginia Giuffre, who we know now has since passed, one of Epstein's victims, against Maxwell for calling Giuffre a liar. The email says that Gouffre, who would be instrumental in bringing down Epstein's sex trafficking empire, alleged that Hawking, while an island visitor, had participated in an underage orgy. This is nightmarish. In the email, Epstein instructed Maxwell to offer a reward to anyone who could help disprove Gouffre's allegation. There is no other evidence in the court document released along with thousands of pages of records in response to a Miami Herald lawsuit that supports this claim. I could be wrong. I'm just thinking about this as I'm reading it. But one of the early articles on Epstein, really blowing the cover on a lot of the stuff that happened in Florida with his jail sentence, the first jail sentence. I think it was out of Miami Herald. I got to find that article. It was really good. If it wasn't, might have been another Miami-based paper, but that article was incredible. Very big, actually complex article that you don't see much in newspapers. But that was like 10 years ago now, maybe more. A widely published photo does show Hawking, who died in 2018, participating in a gathering at Epstein's private compound in the U.S. Virgin Islands in 2006.
And this is... Is that it?
There you go. There you go. Look at that. I'm fine if we just completely erase everything Hawking did. I think it's going to turn out to be worthless. And he was just a propped up puppet for psychopaths to use. Like, he probably didn't even control that. I think that's Owen Benjamin who's been making that case. Pretty sure it's him. I'm sure others have as well. I think there's something to it, but it's wild. But we'll see. It's like, everyone obeys the laws of Epstein. I can already see what's happening
The
in the
laws
chat.
of Epstein.
Yeah.
There are none.
But like, they're going to negate this guy, and probably rightfully so, because he was just a puppet for all these crazy people. He had, over the years, cultivated personal relationships with a galaxy of the world's most prominent, mostly male scientists. I'm talking about Epstein, of course, a college dropout. Epstein also funded leading research centers, donating around $9 million to Harvard and $800,000 to MIT's Media Lab. Even after he pleaded guilty in Palm Beach County in 2008 to soliciting sex from an underage girl and reported to the local jail for a year's incarceration, Epstein continued to facilitate donations totaling at least $7.5 million for the lab, a relationship the institution reportedly attempted to conceal. How interesting. But yeah, I just want to make sure everyone's aware of that. I think we're going to watch the downfall of Stephen Hawking, and I'm fine with it. Let him go. Especially if this is all real. I mean, that's insane. But we know Epstein has had ingratiated himself into the science world, especially at Harvard. Another Stein, or Stein, I don't know how they like to pronounce it, but Eric Weinstein talks about being a student at Harvard and not understanding how Epstein knew about what Weinstein was researching. And there's some interesting interviews that Eric has done about that. And, you can look up all the connections between Epstein and the Harvard president at the time, and just finding all this weird research, which then connects back to Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Richard Maxwell. I think it was Richard or Robert. I'm spacing right now, who funded Pergamon Press, who put out a lot of like technical science textbooks for colleges. So, there's so many connections there. That's why when people write off Ghislaine being any part of this, it's really hard to ignore the facts of what Ghislaine was up to, what her father did, how he died, all that stuff. But we have talked about that a lot, and I think I mentioned it last night. Our episode with Brad Bankley, we talk about a lot of it on that one, so check it out. But that's Stephen Hawking for you, and we'll see what happens. Should we listen to the Epstein victims real quick, announce their list before we get to some callers?
I do believe I've got that pulled. Let me see.
This also happened today, and I have a lot of feelings about it.
Well,
It's weird.
This is another, I called it, because probably a couple months ago now at this point. I said this is what it's going to take. It's going to take, these victims are going to have to come forward, and they're going to have to band together, and they're going to have to release this information themselves so that people are taken seriously. And from what I'm seeing, that is exactly what's happening.
But before we listen to it, do we trust them? It's like, I don't trust anybody in this, and I'll have reasons why I go back and forth on this. But let's listen to them first. And then
I
we'll
have
talk
trust
about it.
issues too, so it's like,
Oh, yeah.
On top of that, I don't really trust anybody. So,
Yeah.
but you know,
Transparency is justice. Release the files.
this
End
audio
the
is terrible.
secrecy, and stand with us in declaring that no one, no billionaires, no politicians, not world leaders, is above the law. And let me announce now, several of us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list of names. We know
we
the
like that.
names. Many of us were abused by them. Now, together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know were regularly in the Epstein world. And it will be done by survivors and for survivors. No one else is involved. Stay tuned for more details on that.
Okay.
Because history...
Stay tuned.
I want as much transparency from as many people as possible, but I don't really know who these people are. I want to see what they have to say. But the thing that's not in that clip that happens right before she goes on is the way she introduces herself, and she introduces herself as like host of some podcast, and it's like she's promoting something. Made me feel a little uncomfortable, not gonna lie. But that's the world we live in.
who is this
She
woman?
says she's a victim.
Okay.
If you listen to her whole story, and there's a whole bunch, it's a 2-hour thing. She says she was a victim of Epstein, forced to hook up with people because Epstein was getting her jobs. I don't really understand what that means, so we're going to need to hear more about that. But I'm willing to hear the story.
This is going to have to go against like evidence too, and I mean,
Yeah.
hearsay just isn't like a thing because
Right.
we all know that in some cases there are people that just come forward with whatever shit they can because they think it's a free ride.
Exactly. I mean, look
So-
how many women said Trump did stuff, you know. So, and most
Well,
of them
you
seem
see
like
it a lot in
liars.
sports.
See it in sports,
and
for
in,
sure.
in some cases it's turned out to be true. In other cases it's turned out to be complete bullshit and they can't prove their case.
Yep.
So it has to be weighed with proven facts and evidence. So,
But if all these women, if you're listening to the show right now, I advise you just come out tomorrow. Say all the names you want to say, but all of you say Anthony Fauci. Just say just keep saying Anthony Fauci.
Did you just give them a name to put into the
Yes, please, Anthony Fauci. There's others, but Anthony Fauci must be taken down. He's a disgusting man. I just imagine he's a part of it. So just putting it out there, you know, just some advice. I don't know, but I feel like Anthony Fauci needs to be named. But you know, I did just see real quick before I go back to some thoughts about that Massey has announced that there's going to be some pretty groundbreaking news about Fauci soon. I hope it's Nuremberg trials, but you know, and real ones this time. But anyway, these victims, you know, I want to hear what they got to say, but you can't just start saying names and we're all just going to believe it. It's the same thing I feel about Ghislaine Maxwell. I have no reason to believe her. Everyone's got an angle, and this story is blown up to like a crazy, it's huge. Obviously it's been huge. So everyone's got something to sell, but yeah, I want to see what they got to say and we'll figure it out from there. I just don't go believe in everything, you know? I think I saw someone in chat say Me Too, like the second or something. And we're in it could be some new phase of that. Politics has infected every part of society. It's a disease, and it is the new Hollywood, and people take advantage of it. So we got to know who these women are, got to hear their stories. I mean, I guess these are the women that spoke behind closed doors about what happened to them. I don't want to have to digest any bit of what happened to anyone when it comes to this stuff. I mean, we know these things do happen, but we also know people lie. So, you know, we're going to have to walk a pretty thin line on what we are willing to believe, because now it's just becoming he said, she said, literally. You know, and there's a lot of theater happening around it, like the Nancy Mace thing yesterday, which I thought was ridiculous. Her walking out. I get it, though. Like, this stuff is insane. Really bad things do happen to people, and there's a lot to take. But this is pretty serious, and you're a politician. We elected you, and you should be in that room doing your job to listen to these women. and helping to give us the what you think, your interpretation of all this. Anna Paulina Luna, again, she's in there too, and like we heard from her yesterday, she says there are some rich, powerful people connected to this. So yeah, I see you, Devin. Theater, it's all theater. It's all theater. Everything. I tweeted earlier, anything I don't like is a hoax. And it just seems to be that's where we are now. I'll start taking Trump a little more seriously with him calling Epstein a hoax if he starts also saying that the moon landing and Sandy Hook was a hoax. But I won't hold my breath. But I think people are just starting to say it's hoax or it's an AI because it's an uncomfortable truth. And it probably affects people they know. Trump has been deeply embedded in all the institutions for most of his life. Guarantee he knows people who are in this, and maybe they're not guilty, but probably flew a little too close to the sun. And I don't care about those people. I don't care about protecting anyone involved in any of the bad stuff. And if you were innocent and you're named in this stuff, then prove it. It's just gotta. We can't be hold back. We can't hold back the lists or names because we're afraid of some people who are in the periphery, who are innocent, being dragged through the mud. It's too late for that. And the whole rollout has been so atrocious. CNN said a few weeks ago that the polls show that people don't care anymore. But here we are having hearings about it. The victims are about it. It's trending all day. I think people do care about it. I think they're trying to force us to stop caring about it. And certainly Trump wants us to stop talking about it. And ever since, the Bindergate thing happened, I had a pretty bad feeling that all this was a joke and we weren't going to get anything. And I probably should have thought that already, to be quite honest with you. But Bindergate was just such an embarrassment for everybody. The administration just using influencers. Who knows what influencer knew what? If maybe they just walked into it and it turned out to be a photo shoot. But that was a huge, huge mess up. Disgusting to turn such a nefarious and sinister crime into a photo shoot on the White House lawn, like an Easter egg hunt for children. Disgusting. So we'll see what goes on next, and let's take down Fauci while we wait for it. But if we got some callers, we should do some callers.
All right, let's bring on Lord Awesome Sauce to start out the
Great
night.
name. I see. Let's see who's saying. Justin, Good Earth, Bondi can go today, in my opinion. Yeah, she should have gone weeks ago. I mean, everyone says she's the best ever, though. I think she's a witch. Because she looks like she's 30 and she's 90 years old. It's weird. She's a witch. She's like a Kardashian.
Lord Awesome Sauce, if you could unmute your mic. You guys heard me?
City Killer.
That's a twofer right there.
Now
I
you're
just feel
drunk.
like City Killer is just like some kid that you bump into playing NBA 2K26 or something. And he's like the mini boss, in the back, City Killer.
That's good. That's a good rap
Flow
name. Yeah.
Rider, City Killer.
That's a good rap name. Oh, before we get to the caller, I just want to address the super chat saying the energy Trump. This is from Holly Movie Star, by the way. Thank you. The energy Trump ran on feels like no longer there. It is gone, in my opinion. And anyone trying to convince you otherwise is lying to you. I mean, there are good things we can champion that I totally think are great, but the energy is not there. It is not the same. There's something completely, there's been, it's like the light has been totally dimmed, and I don't get it. I don't know. Something's off, in my opinion.
Speaking of off, this mic continues to be off for this person, so we are going to come back. We are going to go to Herp Tiki.
All right. They're already placing bets on how many callers we have tonight, so we'll do it. We'll do our best.
Herp Tiki, you're on the show. I would also enjoy it if you would unmute your mic.
Uh-oh. I was going to be drunk on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, well, it's the middle of the week.
Yep. Ryan Creasos, I see what you're saying. Ryan Dawson has the receipts. Yeah, he's someone who's followed this. And I know there's so much drama between him and Whitney Webb. I listened to both of them. And and Martyr Maid have talked about it, his Tucker Carlson interview. And I know it seems like Martyr Maid and Ryan have lots of beef with Whitney. I hear it. I don't understand all of it. I wish people just kind of work together on something like this. I know there's accusations of her taking stuff and she's come out and says that's not true, and she's given her side of the story. It gets very emotional. But I listen to all of them, and they're all worth looking up and seeing what they have to say. Ton of information. And Brad Binkley, who we had on the show, he talks about people who you can look up who are associated with Epstein that I've never heard anyone else talk about. Very, very fascinating names that you guys should get into.
Yep, man. For the fourth time, Shane isn't red. It's just the lighting in
Am
the
I red?
room. Thank you, guys.
Dang, dude, I am red.
Caller, are you there?
You talking to me?
Yes.
What is up?
Hey guys, sorry, my Rumble crashed as soon as I tried to get in, but that's okay.
My
You're good.
goodness.
Rumble likes to do that sometimes.
What's
So I
going
hope you
on?
guys are having a good evening. I tuned in to see the Asteroid and stayed for the comedy.
We made it.
Yeah, I saw that NASA says that we deserve it, and I agree, we do.
Yeah, they would. Werner von Braun's
But,
in his grave saying, kill them all.
Last week, with the not last week, I guess the week before, with the whole Bigfoot and New York State thing, I wanted to call in and give you guys some information, but I kept, getting distracted because you guys start as soon as I get to work, but thankfully it's a slow night at work, so I can call in.
Hey man, what are your priorities? Is it
guys-
work? Is it work or our show?
Work
My goodness.
can be fairly distracting, I got to tell you.
No, I get it. I get it, dude.
Night shift, man.
No,
But,
yeah, I know those. But tell
I
us.
know you guys like scientific information, so I found a few things on Bigfoot that kind of gives a little bit of credence to either Bigfoot or a Bigfoot-like creature being
right.
somewhere in North America.
Finally, let's have it.
First off, I would point you guys towards Jeff Meldrum. He's a doctor of anthropology at Idaho University.
Okay.
He has studied these casts that are taken of footprints, and I don't know how many he studied. It's not like I'm a student of his, but he has studied them throughout the years, and he has noticed that the dermal ridges that are on these casts are different from both human feet and great apes. And so, because like dermal ridges are like fingerprints on your foot, and so like each toe has its own imprint. And for a hoaxer to think of something like that in the 50s and 60s would be pretty awesome. It'd be really amazing for them to think of something like that. Obviously it's possible, but it's just something to think about. And he also his specialty in anthropology is primate movement and anatomy. And so when he did a viewing of the Patterson-Gimlin film, he noticed that the subject of the film, like how it walked, was not how a man would walk, and not really how an ape would walk. Like there's something in between. But he does notice like it veers more towards the great ape, like movements with the foot, and how like the legs are put down. And along with those casts, he noticed that there is, I don't remember the scientific name for it, sorry. He noticed that there's an impression in the middle of the foot. So how humans walk, we walk heel to toe. So you see the deeper parts on the hill when we first step down, and when we put our weight down on the ball of the foot, not really where our arches are. Whereas primates, how they walk and how their bone structures are, it goes in the middle of the foot. So like there's an imprint there in the center of the foot, whether than the ball of the foot or the heel. And he has noticed that in some of these prints from Asia and North America that he has studied. But getting off Dr. Meldrum, there is a DNA study by a Dr. Melba Ketchum that was done that were kind of like the hairs that are found, and how they're like, oh yeah, we studied this hair, but we can't identify what it is. They took some of those hair samples and did DNA studies on them, and they did blind studies on a few different universities, and they came back like, yeah, no, we don't have any any of this in our records? What is it? And whenever Dr. Ketchum had said, hey, we are trying to see if there's a great ape in North America, that's when like the peer reviews and the uh, articles and such kind of like shut her out. Like, no,
Hmm.
we're not publishing anything about Bigfoot. Obviously, you're all crazy. Um, so she made her own magazine kind of to publish her findings. And so she gets a lot of backlash from the scientific community that she published her own findings through her own magazine. So it's kind of seen as you're not really having a third party check your work, even though she did have some peer reviews and blind tests done on that information.
I think peer reviews
Um,
these days have been totally bastardized. You know, I
oh, for
mean,
sure. I
uh,
think I think you can pay somebody off like, oh yeah, just
yeah,
say what I say.
yeah.
I mean, I
It's
work in the
so
medical field.
okay. So
I
it's
work
like
in
it's very incestuous.
Yeah, I work in pathology specifically, and
Okay.
that's kind of why I'm here at night in the
Mm.
lab. I but I mean, I've seen doctors like, hey, I think it's this type of cancer. Do you agree? Not even kind of like letting them really look at the tissue or look at their findings. Just like, this is what I think it is,
Hmm.
and the doctor's like, yeah, sure, that's what it is, and so that's what the diagnosis is. I mean,
That's
obviously for the
crazy.
most part they can tell like what type of cancer it is, whether it's squamous cell, basal cell, melanoma, stuff like that.
Do
But I
do
can
you real quick?
definitely understand when it comes to researching. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick before we go back to the Bigfoot thing. Do you think AI is gonna start taking a lot of those jobs away? Like if you,
I work with AI right
so
now,
so how's that
actually.
work? How's that work? And do you think you're gonna lose your job to it, or
um,
is it a collaboration?
so how our AI works now is, do you remember in science class, whenever you looked at slides under a microscope and like, hey, this is what a plant cell looks like, this is what human cells look like, stuff
Hmm.
like that.
Yep.
That's what I do for a living. So they send me tissue samples of patients with, what suspected cancers or fungus and such, and I cut it up and I put it on put it on glass slides and stain it. And the doctors can see the individual cells and the cell morphology to kind of tell what it is. Um, and so normally what we do is we give all those glass slides to a doctor, and they'd have to take the slides and put it in a microscope and look. Where now they have what's called digital pathology. You put it on a big scanner, and the scanner takes pictures of the slide. And I mean, it looks just like a microscope. Like
Hmm.
I like reviewing these slides. It's amazing. But we have an AI technology that detects tumors, and so it flags these uh, certain slides, and then a doctor has to go in and approve if it's detected or not, because they're still kind of learning. Um, and I don't think it'll replace the technical portion of the job where I am.
Hmm.
I think doctors could be replaced if um, if they don't, give it enough time of the AI learning, and that's kind of scary.
Yeah, because the medical field and the use of AI, I can see that being a beneficial collaboration. Um, I don't might not agree with some of the outcomes that the AI is making if it's going to be these like 48-hour designer vaccines that will
For
cure
sure.
something. 'Cause I'm just like I wasn't going to take something they made in 6 months. I'm not going to or 3 months. I'm not going to take something that was made in 2 days and just be like, oh,
Absolutely not.
thanks. But like I can see that it can be very helpful in a collaboration sense in the medical field. Yeah, I was just curious about that, but that's a very interesting job, and that's wild. Late nights in the pathology lab. Uh, but
I
where were
absolutely
we?
love it.
We were talking about Bigfoot and Melba and her magazine, and I don't know if you had something else to add to that or not before I derailed that.
No, not really. I had found some scientists who disagree with the narrative, and so they've been ostracized. So I wanted to point them out to you guys.
Cool. What do you
Um,
think about Bigfoot?
I think there is something out there. I have never had any experience, and I
Hmm.
kind of don't want one, because I think if something that has been has been out of the public eye for that long, either
Hmm.
the government is protecting them or they are killing people.
Or they're what? You
And
cut
I,
out.
or they're killing people whenever they find them.
Ooh, interesting.
I think if
So-
he's real, he's definitely under protection. They got him somewhere dressed in human clothes. He's doing commercials for Jack Links.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I've seen videos of him. You know, he's out there like drinking and partying with people. I've seen him.
Oh,
He's
man.
playing a saxophone too. I
Oh.
don't know if you guys have seen that. He's
I
great.
haven't seen that one, but I bet he's a Renaissance man, Renaissance Sasquatch.
Maybe.
I could see him working at a bank, you know, like super low key, nice clothes, you know.
He just
Hell
wants to
yeah.
be in the woods, but imagine all the rage inside of you. And do you think he's happy in that kind of?
No, I'm sure he
structured
hates his
routine?
9 to 5.
Yeah.
He'd rather be in the
That
woods.
tie, I bet it's pretty tight on his neck.
Yeah.
It's gotta be really constricting.
It's so tough. The commute's tough. You know, just being around all these people. Ah,
Yeah, and then
Barber is not cheap.
the Sasquatch in captivity.
Yeah.
It's like the unicorn. Can you look up the painting of the unicorn in captivity, real quick?
Unicorn
you know,
in
I
captivity.
just watched a movie called Death of Unicorn where it like centered on that painting.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Like I just watched it the other night.
That's hilarious. I never heard of that movie. That's awesome. I love this painting. I got it for my my first daughter, second kid.
Is that it?
That's it. Yeah. So for those who are listening, this is an old painting of a unicorn in captivity, which is a unicorn in a small circular fence. But I just want people to see it now. Imagine Bigfoot
He doesn't.
inside.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, he doesn't really look like he hates it,
I mean,
but he also looks like he's been shot a couple of times. Is that like? No, those are like. Are those plants?
might be plants in front. Might be plants in
Like,
front of him.
He looks like he's been buckshot a couple
I think it's
of
such a cool painting.
times.
Wait, what was the movie name again?
Death of a Unicorn.
Death of the Unicorn. All right, cool. I'm gonna look that up. That sounds cool. But thank you so much for calling in, man. Appreciate it. And I got these names written down. I'm gonna look into them.
Yeah, bud. I mean, love the show. Watched it for just a little while now. I tune in every now and again when a subject piques my interest, and figured I'd let you guys have a few names on the weirder side of YouTube.
Sick. I appreciate
I
it.
appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Y'all have a good night.
You
You
too.
too.
Sick.
So, this guy.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me
All
get.
right. While you do that,
I have
just,
so much red tape up here right now.
I just want to bring up one thing before I mentioned it a bunch. I forget. I think I mentioned it on IRL a bunch, but I never actually pulled it up, and now I feel like sometimes I've just dreamt it. But no. Okay, here we go. North Korea didn't find a unicorn, but rather claimed in 2012 to have rediscovered a unicorn lair associated with the ancient Korean king Tongmyong and his mythical Kirin creature. That was pretty good, I thought. That was pretty good. Can we AI my face so it's like more slanted eyes? The discovery, which included a rock carving of a unicorn lair, was a piece of propaganda to link the modern nation of ancient Korean history and through Pyongyang's importance as an ancient capital. So they found a unicorn lair. So for those of you who didn't know, unicorns had lairs, especially in North Korea. It's a thing. It's pretty cool. Look into it. I think the unicorns are real. My daughter asked me a bunch, and it's hard to say. Like, I don't know. You know, I should be like, no, it's hard to say no. I say, you know, we don't really know. But North Korea claims to have found a unicorn lair in 2012.
Yeah, well, I can tell you right now, if North Korea found a unicorn lair, all of those unicorns are dead.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's not good for the unicorns. Or
They are
have 'em-
not. They're instantly going to kill them and then start asking questions.
Or Kim Jong Un's got him in like his own lair. You know, he might have captured them all, and he's got him hanging out. He might ride unicorn.
maybe he's got him strapped to their missile arsenal as like good luck.
It's possible.
It's like we're gonna hit them with our special new
unicorn.
unicorn laced
Yes.
long range missiles that are guaranteed to do 999 plus exotic damage.
Sounds beautiful. And we know from
Yeah.
our caller Catherine from Scotland, their national is it their national animal? I forget. I don't want to misspeak, but
Well, it's funny that you should mention her
Oh,
because
for real?
she's coming on the show next.
perfect. Let's see. What is it? Yeah, the unicorn is Scotland's national animal. What's up with that? I think I've asked her
We're
before,
probably gonna have to ask her.
but
I guess.
I need more answers. But let's get her on.
Yeah. So, really quick, I want to give listeners here a little background on this guy that we were just talking about, Jeff Meldrum, Jeff Meldrum. Everything checks out. He is definitely a professor, Idaho State University, not an online university, so it's legit. You know, he's been at institutions like Duke, as well as Northwestern, so all reputable universities. Basically,
Wait, he is a Mormon though.
yeah, I'm not too sure about that one.
I'm just messing with the Mormons. We've had so many Mormon callers. I love y'all.
Yeah, definitely a bit suspect, but he basically is known for his interest in Bigfoot, and he believes in the other side of that narrative. Where did I find it here? He was, let's see, he wrote a book, it looks like, heavily criticized detailed review called Skeptical Inquirer, where he was then shunned by basically another anthropologist, David Dagling, commented that the author was unable or unwilling to distinguish good research from bad, science from pseudoscience. And the book failed to provide a thorough scientific analysis. So we've got that. But he also looks like he was present at a press conference in 2011 in Siberia regarding the Siberian snowman, which sounds like something out of the old Rudolph movie, which included, among other things, investigated alleged footprints that have been spotted in Kemerovo Cave. He acknowledged that the results of the Russian field trip to the cave site were most likely fraudulent, suggested that the supposed evidence found was simply an attempt by local government officials to drum up publicity. So I also believe that, because that's
And
usually
also,
the case.
If it's on Wikipedia, you have to believe it. There's
Well,
no
that's
other
not
way.
necessarily true. See,
It's all true
the issue that I have
Wikipedia.
with Wiki, it's generally good. It's very informative, but the problem is not being able to, like, you're not allowed to, like, update your own Wiki page.
Yeah.
The information has to come from like a third party source or an outside source. So it's like anybody could just make up some shit and throw it in your Wiki page as long as it's not you, which makes no sense.
I don't believe it, because Snake's Wikipedia page seems like it was written by him. Maybe like not directly, but
I
he
don't
might have
think
had like
so.
a bogus account.
I don't know that he would have went into such great detail about all of his failures and publicity stunts.
I think he would have.
If he was trying to pull off another huge one at the state fair, you know.
I think he likes it. Snake, we're still waiting. You ghosted me, Snake. You ghosted me. You know, we were so supportive of your endeavors at the New York State Fair, and you just left us in the dust with all that
Swipe right, Snake.
Bigfoot fame you got in New York. But let's go to Catherine.
Yeah, let's get her in here.
See if I missed anything. Oh man, you guys talking about unicorns?
Catherine, you there?
Yes, hi, can you hear me?
We can. Welcome back to the show.
Hi, nice to see you guys. I would first of all like to say I think we need to put SEAL Team 6 and the SAS over to North Korea to bring our unicorns back.
Is that really a thing? Is that really like the creature of the country, or how did you call it, Shane?
The national animal.
It's actually on our coat of arms, the royal coat of arms. On the royal coat of arms, which is on everything, like, you know, government buildings, military things, stuff like that. On one side you've got the lion, because England is famous for the lion, and then on the other side you have the unicorn for Scotland.
Do you know the history of like why that is?
I think it's just because in Scotland we love telling stories and we're all off our heads. They must have maybe had some of Joe Rogan's mushrooms that he's maybe not discovered yet. And thought, oh, look at that. Okay, here I go again. On a serious note, remember the thing that went viral around the world about the little girl in Scotland with the axe and the knife?
Yes. Oh my goodness, that's insane.
Well, this happened just down the road from me.
No way.
Now, there's two stories. There's the establishment story, and then there's what really happened. And then there's also what happened after this.
Okay.
Would you like me to explain?
The floor is yours, and I'm just going to ask Brandon when you get a chance to pull up a picture of that girl. So if anyone hasn't seen that picture, it's this girl in Scotland with an axe and a knife. And Catherine, you have the floor. You can walk us through all of the layers.
Okay, now the establishment story is this little girl is a feral child with a history of basically being quite unruly with her sister and her friends, and this illegal, or sorry, apparently he's legal migrant, was a poor guy who managed to find his way over here from Bulgaria. Him and his wife or sister, we don't quite know yet, and he happened to be walking past them, and they basically goaded him. And Scottish police said they had CCTV camera to back this up. Now, a local reporter had said, got in touch with Scottish police, and they says, "Oh, you've got it on CCTV." Yes, we do. They were being quite threatening to the poor guy, and they went, "Oh, great, can we have a look at the CCTV?" "Oh, sorry, we've lost it."
Oh man, of course, right?
Yeah, so
Sheesh.
now what actually happened was the little girl with the blades, she's 12. Her name's Lola, and our schools have been back for about 2 weeks after our summer break in Scotland. Most schools in the UK, to be fair, wear a school uniform.
Right.
And so he was harassing her, and he was being horrific. He was doing things like "you're very sexy" and all this nonsense. Actually, physically harassing her when she was in her school uniform. So she was quite frightened. I mean, me personally, I would have stuck a tin of deodorant and a lighter in my pocket and just, you know, sort of fire sprayed him. But then that's just me. But she chose this path. But anyway, they were going out with their friends, and they says, "Oh, let's meet up and we'll just go for a walk." And they were going for a walk, and him and this woman was next to him, whether it's his sister or his wife, I don't know. And then they started harassing the 12-year-old. Her big sister was there, who was 14, and says, "Just leave her alone. She was only 12. And if you can hear in the video, you've just battered me, mate, which means you've beat me up." Now, what had happened was the woman that was with them jumped on the 14-year-old, grabbed her hair, and smacked her head on the ground. Then she started laying the boot in. Then he jumped in, and so the two of them were on this girl. And one of the friends that was further back that you can't see was on the phone to the police. And so Lola gets these things that she was carrying out, and that's when you see him goading her. Now, what we did also find out about this guy, Mr. Perfect, over here for a better life, found out he's actually part of a Bulgarian gang. Now, unfortunately, Dundee's one of the per head of population, one of the worst cities in the whole of Europe for drugs. And there's only one reason they're over here. And not that long ago, there was a Bulgarian gang of 5 that got jailed for grooming gang offences. So anyway, there was on his TikTok, there was photographs of him with a balaclava, flipping the bird. There was another photograph with the back of his neck with a Kalashnikov tattooed right across the back of his neck.
Sheesh.
And so it's basically the government is going down the road of the tried and tested grooming gangs route, which is discredit the kid and bum up the migrant. And then you've got the Daily Record saying, "Oh, this guy's fantastic. He's only a simple guy." And you're like, "We've seen this before." And then, of course, you've got the police saying, "Oh, well, you see, you have to trust what we're saying." And we're like that. We've got to trust what the police say.
Yeah,
Right,
perfect.
okay. We've got to trust. You've got to trust what we've said because we saw it. So as the end result of that, because it's an area in Dundee called Lochee. Now, Lochee years ago had a lot of Irish immigrants that came over. So, this is a terrible thing to say, and I do not advocate. I have to say, I do not advocate for this. Because we've got such a poor, we don't trust the police. Put it that way. We tend to sort these things out ourselves.
Yeah, I get that. And
We've now got groups of guys groups of guys, they say citizen patrols. We've now got them going round the streets at night, every night around here.
Good.
And if these guys come across, put it this way, if the guys come across her, they would never lift a hand to a woman, but they'd definitely find a way to maybe educating her.
Was she arrested?
She was
No,
charged.
she was. The young girl was charged, yeah, with carrying bladed weapons in public.
And do we know if she? Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Because Scotland's got a very long and dark history. Because we used to have the razor gangs. Scotland at one point had higher murder rates than Chicago and New York.
Wow.
That's why the
pretty high.
clamped right down. That's why they clamped right down on it. Now the funny thing is, this migrant initially, oh right, we believe you. Then he got arrested, and the first words out his mouth were, "I don't speak English." Well, I'm sorry, mate. We heard you speak English, although broken, right all over the internet.
My goodness. Did she say if she was carrying these weapons because of that? Like, has something happened to her prior?
Yeah, yes, it was documented.
It's either that or
Her
she was getting
oldest-
ready to drop into war zone. I mean, why else do you
Yeah.
carry a butcher
Yeah.
knife and an
No.
axe on you when you're a 14-year-old girl?
Yeah.
It's not that. See if you have a look at her face, right? Obviously, you know what I've been through. The fear on her face, the sheer horror on that little girl's face.
Yeah, you can see she looks like she's kind of tired of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to the point where I've had enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. She shouldn't have to do it. She shouldn't have to be doing
Which,
it.
yeah, any
you know?
amount of that is enough. It's a 14-year-old girl,
Yeah.
but
She should live in a community that will stand up for her and protect her and not protect these psychopaths.
well, but also hats off to her for wanting to stand up and protect herself
Absolutely.
and her sister. I mean,
Yeah.
I wish it sucks that it's come to this, but I think
Yep.
this is what all women should be doing. Worried
Well,
about their
this-
safety above everything else.
Everyone should be armed. Everyone.
That's where we're getting, unfortunately. And I think there's been a GoFundMe for this girl that's raised somewhere near like 75,000 quid, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think
Well,
she's going to end up feeling the full repercussions of this, thankfully, because she shouldn't have to.
I want to say real
No.
quick, Monica Elizabeth does. I might agree with Monica as well, though. She says she doesn't look scared. She looks defiant. I mean, she does have this look on her face, like I will do whatever it takes.
I'm
right
fed
now.
up. Like, go ahead, try me one
I'm
more
gonna
time.
Do this.
I
Like, when she
wouldn't be
brandishes them-
surprised if she's carrying those two weapons specifically for this encounter and she was ready for it, because
Yup.
it's just happened multiple
Dude.
times.
So insane. That's crazy that it happened so
Well-
close to you.
Yeah, I mean, you've got in these migrants' mindsets, they stalk and they hunt and they wait and they check patterns. I mean, like so what time are they going to come up? Where are they going to go? Where do they meet? What friends have they got? And just chance, probably one of those many times he's harassed her. Now imagine 12-year-old having this guy, well, you're sexy, you're this, come back to mine, and all this crap. You know what I mean? I'd be going bonkers myself.
Oh yeah.
I want to have a go with the guy. I mean, he'd
Yeah,
probably.
that person needs to
'cause
be
I'm not-
removed from society immediately.
Put it this way, I wouldn't be surprised, knowing this area and the local authority and obviously the police knowing this area as well, quietly taking him out and putting him somewhere else, which I also don't agree with, because you're just moving him to
Honestly.
somewhere else.
Yeah, they need to be put away.
Yeah.
You can't just drop them somewhere else. Yeah, it's someone else's problem then.
Yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I'll just say something really quickly, and I'll let someone else, because obviously you have lots of people calling in. It's nice to see, well, not nice to see, obviously, because it's pretty grim circumstances. But yeah, see, this is a thing that Scots do. When things get too bad, we'll go back to factory resets, Braveheart time.
Yep.
Yeah,
The primitive.
It's terrible. It's terrible that you've got to do that. But now, very quickly, because I know you yourself, Shane, like things about water and myths and things around lakes and lochs.
Love it.
Right, every body of water in Scotland has something connected to it. Remember I was telling you about the fairy glens and the fairy pools?
Mm-hmm.
There's old myths because obviously it's on the Isle of Skye, which is an island. There's myths called selkies, which basically are things that look like seals, and they wash up onto the beach, and then they just it's like their skin falls off them, and it's a humanoid figure that walks all the way up
Oh
the
yeah,
glen
look at
and
that.
and bathes in the fairy
A
pools.
selkie,
Yes.
Selkie, right?
But I'll tell if Brandon wouldn't mind looking up, there's a second mythical creature called Kelpie. Kelpie is in seaweed kelp, Kelpie. Now, if you look up Falkirk Kelpie, that's a sculpture in Scotland. It's one of the, if not the largest, equestrian sculpture in the world,
Yeah,
and I think it's a UNESCO site.
I love that. Yeah, that's a crazy sculpture.
Yeah, and the background on that was a group of children didn't go to Sunday school, so they were walking along the banks of a river, and they saw the most beautiful horse that they'd ever seen, and they all ran over. Oh, and they're petting it. No, that's not it. Bottom left, I think it is.
Yeah, the two horse heads.
Yeah, two horse heads.
Yep.
So anyway, the kids were walking along, seeing this beautiful horse, and they're, oh look, and it went down on its front two legs, and obviously the children jumped on its back, and as the children were jumping on its back, one of the little ones saw its back was every time a kid jumped on, its back was getting longer and longer and longer. So there was like 7 kids on the back of this horse, and the little one was too frightened and said no. Well, that horse, they were holding on to the mane. The mane ends up wrapping around their hands and holding them onto the back of the horse, and it jumps in the water and drowns them.
Whoa.
Now, I think that obviously it's a myth, but I think that was kind of like
Maybe.
the very first public safety announcement to kids, just to stay away from water and things like this.
Yeah, there's a lot of similar mythology to that in the Yukon, somewhere up north in Canada. I'm forgetting the name of the tribe, but they had some weird sea witch that they would scare the kids about in the water to keep them from drowning. Wild story, but I love that. Well, Catherine, it's always good to hear from you. That is insane that you're close to such a crazy story. I appreciate you giving us some on the ground reporting from there. And please do call back anytime. We'd love to hear from you.
Well, you guys take care and have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank
too.
you.
And I have to make my music recommendation now because I always I get triggered by people when they say some word.
Oh, you threw the word periphery in there somewhere, and I was like, dude.
Oh, you're gonna say the
awesome
band
band.
Periphery?
Awesome.
Yeah,
band.
my friend just saw them. I think they opened for System of a Down and Corn.
I got to work for them for 2 nights
wow.
at my venue in Chicago.
Sick.
They came and did like
they're
2
wild.
straight nights, headlining both nights. I did rail security for them.
Oh wow.
And afterwards, they just hung out. Like
They're sick.
We kept the bar at the venue open for like an extra couple hours. Everybody went home. It was just the staff, and we were just basically hanging out with Periphery,
That's
just shooting the
awesome.
shit. They were so cool. Unbelievably talented dudes.
Yeah.
Learned a lot from their drummer that night. He
Yeah,
was
dude,
working
they're
to try to
all so
dial in
insane.
his bass pedal, and dude, so good. Such an unbelievable band.
Catherine said Selkies, and that made me think immediately of Between the Buried and Me.
Yeah.
Off the great Selkies, off the great album Alaska. I love that album. Love that band.
Don't let me and Shane get too carried away here, folks.
It's only 11:08, so I'm not going to go on a tangent about all the drummers Between the Buried and Me went to and how the drummer was in Bury Your Dead. I won't do it. I'm trying to show restraint right
He
now.
just did it.
I have more to say, but let's go to another caller.
Yeah. All right. I want to try. Let's try this guy one more time and see if he's back yet.
Jesus Tree says, I was blasting SOAD all day. Which one? I've been on Toxicity kick, but
I remember that album.
love that
came out.
first
So
album.
good.
I love that B-side album. I mean, those last 2 albums were great.
Lord Awesome Sauce. Are you still muted and chilling? What's good here?
Og Dog said Suffocation and SOAD. Sick. Love
Do you
Suffocation.
guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you now. How you doing?
What's up?
Oh, beautiful. Sorry, guys. I had some technical retardation issues.
You're all good.
It's all good.
So, yeah, man. I'm a Chicago native.
Whoop.
Hey.
have had some like weird experiences around the area.
Okay.
If I can, I will want to comment on the last caller with the unicorn issue,
Sure.
especially with the unicorn that Shane brought up.
All right.
That that painting. So there's some esoteric issues around that painting.
Let's hear it.
So you guys remember that Eddie Munster, MFer, part of the U.S. Congress? What was his name? He was the PX90 twat.
You talking about the guy from the Green Party?
No. He was
Oh, you're talking about Paul Ryan.
Yes,
Yeah.
that mother effer. So yeah, he claims he is a descendant of Jesus Christ, which
What?
may be true.
He does?
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Never heard that.
it was said that Jesus went all over the European continents, including England, visited a city of the dead in England, and he started proselytizing. People started switching over, and that's where maybe his children were born and raised. That's where that Eddie Munster mofo claims that he is a descendant of Jesus Christ. However, and this is a bit esoteric. You want to check with a guy named Robert Sepper, or his other YouTube channel, Atlantean Gardens, where he believes he decoded the mystery of the unicorn slaughter of Europe. And the unicorn slaughter of Europe is basically Jesus's offspring.
What?
So, yeah,
I haven't heard
there's
this.
that.
I have not heard
There's
this. Okay. So Robert Sepper and Atlantean Gardens, and he's got this thing about the slaughter of the unicorns.
There's that. There's
Okay.
that.
So real quick, before you go on, I just want to say I did a quick little look for this Paul Ryan thing, and I see a bunch of stuff, but the first one that came up, I just found this was funny. It's from the Washington Post. It says, "A surprise in Paul Ryan's ancestry. He's slightly Jewish." But to read it, I have to pay. It's a little on the nose, guys.
On the nose. On the
Yeah,
nose.
you can keep going.
Is
Yeah,
it $7 to $9? Because I think I know who's behind it if it is.
Bigfoot's Jewish? Holy crap. Okay,
It's
sorry
corner of
about
the
that.
market.
Had to do it.
I digress.
Had to do it. What were you going to say?
It's all right. I would like to glorify my nickname as Rabbi Checkles, but that's not true. So yeah, I've had two UFO experiences.
Cool.
One sort of dream hacking experience, and a demonic attack. So hit me with what you want to hear about.
I'm going to say UFO.
I thought you were going to go with demonic attack.
We talk about demons. I talk about demons a lot today in a lot of phone conversations. And maybe if it comes up later, that's fine. But if given the opportunity right now, I want to hear about some UFOs.
Look, Cashman Jr. is all tuckered out from talking about demons
Demon
all
talk.
day, folks.
Demon
All right,
talk.
give us the UFO business. Let's
Fighting them all
go.
day.
All right, UFOs. My first one, I was working at Comcast over by Elmhurst, a suburb due west of Chicago.
Used to work right over there.
Yeah. Not around the same time that Tim or the other people saw the UFO blast off out of O'Hare. Sorry if I'm going to
No, you're good.
It's all good. Have you heard me talk?
There's a lot of info there.
It's all good.
So yeah, I'm just trying to compile all the information at the same time. So
Oh, you got it.
the first one, I'm at a Comcast center, and I see something in the horizon. Something actually told my inner self to look up in a particular direction. So I look up and I was like, what is that? It almost looked like the Dark Knight satellite, if you know what that is. And
We do.
Oh, we
I
do. That's
was
right. Sorry.
I was I was watching it. No worries. And one of my friends who was a trainer in the same trainer, not tranny, trainer, um, he saw me looking. I was at a smoke break, cigarette. I quit the filthy habit, but that's where we're at right now in the story. And he looks at me like, "What the hell are you seeing?" And I point up, and no shit, about 30 other fucking people. Sorry, guys. Gonna try to not swear. Sorry, guys.
You're good,
It's
man.
all good.
And we all look east southwest, in the general area from where Elmhurst, Illinois is to O'Hare Airport. And 30 other freaking people see what I'm pointing at, which is something just hanging in the sky. It's not going anywhere. It's not an airplane where it could be coming in or leaving the area. It's just hanging there in the sky. That looks like the Black Knight satellite. That's all I could say. Afterwards, as I'm watching another UFO documentary about only like 5 years ago, I actually see that same image that I saw. However, the video showed it was actually a reflection, a dark shadow off the disc. And that matched exactly what I saw. A disc glistening in the sunlight. Okay. That's the first one. Second one. I'm in a little tiny town west of Chicago called Forest Park, right next to Oak Park.
Yep.
I go to park my car down the block because parking here is a little bit limited.
Sucks.
And yeah, totally. And I'm walking down the alley. And as I'm walking down the alley, I'm listening to a podcast. Maybe it was Tim Pool. I don't think so, but maybe it was. And that was a little giggle factor right there. And anyway, I'm walking down the alley and I see the light shift. I think it's possibly a car coming out the alley or driving down the alley. And then I turn around, I look around. There's no car behind me. And I was just like, oh, that's weird. So I turn back around and I continue to see the light shift around me. And I look up and there is an egg-shaped UFO above me. My instant thought was I just look up at it and I go, oh, hi, how you doing? And then I continue to, it felt like longer than a second. Okay. And then as soon as that thought passes through my brain, I continue just walking around the alley to get into my house. And by the time I got to my house, I completely forgot about the entire experience. It wasn't until like 3 days later till I, when I'm like, wait, what happened? What was that? And it was in dreams and stuff like that. And I walk up to my house. As far as I know, I don't have any radio devices in my body, right? But so that was that instance. Okay.
Real quick, when you remembered the experience, did you remember remembering it up until you got to your house? Or do you remember like that memory fading immediately after you saw it?
It was my mind was saying, "Hey, remember this, remember this, remember this," as I'm walking with each step around. And it was only about 40 steps to walk around the alley to my house. And the second I hit the doorknob, it vanished.
How big was it?
And it was about 30 to 40 feet long. It happened like right above a telephone pole, but the telephone pole had a light on it. And it was an egg-shaped craft that was illuminated from the bottom. It was almost one solid piece, but the bottom of it was illuminated. It illuminated everything. The top half was an off-white shaded vehicle vessel. That's what it was. It was like right in between an egg and like a pill shape.
And what did you feel like when you were? You said you said hello to it. Like you didn't feel scared, right?
No, because I'm totally open to these experiences. Probably not as much as Ian might be. But
Well, yeah, I think he's been like abducted by werewolves. or
Ian
something.
himself is the experience.
Yeah. Ian has abducted all of us. Perhaps we're all here in history.
It might have been Ian. I don't know. So.
It seems possible.
But yeah, that was my experience. I told my kids about it. They loved it. I got 4 kids. I owned a comic book store in my little town here.
Sick.
And
do you want to promote the store? Do you want to shout out the store?
Oh no, it's totally closed.
Oh, it's I was like, damn.
No, you're totally right.
I was like, dude, I got some cards I'm gonna come sell, man. I gotta get rid of this shit. I've had it for like 20 years.
My co-owner, he went off to a liberal arts school and came back totally brainwashed, talking funny stuff about how money works, and like he's totally retarded. Doesn't know how
That sucks.
anything works.
Many such cases.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yep. Many such cases.
I know.
I actually haven't read a lot of comics. I did as a kid, but when I was in college, I fell in love with Doom Patrol.
Oh yeah,
is one of the best series like, ever.
Yeah,
such a good series, and of course, I loved Watchmen. Was it Watchmen?
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah,
but
Watchmen was awesome. So if you liked any of those out of the box thinking ones, I would suggest checking out Joe the Barbarian.
That's a great name.
Joe, he's a diabetic kid, and he goes into little I don't want to say psychotic breaks, but his whole his whole like journey is him going into a diabetic coma, trying to get to his insulin in the fridge. So
it's basically like my ex-girlfriend, but the insulin was alcohol.
Exactly.
I got you now.
Incredible.
So my my comic book store, it was in the little downtown of Forest Park, and the guy above me, he would have packages delivered to the building. And so the ground floor was the comic book store, and upstairs was like 6 different apartment buildings. And so, on the rare occasion, I would bring stuff up that was delivered to our store because their house or their building couldn't be delivered. Mm-hmm. And I saw one day a smudging stick.
Oh, yeah.
The smudging stick I looked at, and I gave him a thing. I was just like, yo, what's up? You got like ghosts up here or something like that? And he was just like, something like that. And I didn't realize this at the time, but Me and my business partner were arguing a lot. Me and my wife were arguing a lot. And out of nowhere, my children were arguing a lot. And I'm just like trying to figure out all this stuff. I'm just like, why is all this chaos happening right now?
Mm-hmm.
And same time, we close a store. It was just unprofitable being connected to a retarded communist. And so I'm just like, what's going on? COVID happens. I'm feeling the life sucked out of me. I'm like sitting on the edge of my bed while I'm watching my kids, and I just couldn't get warm. It was just cold constantly. And then out of nowhere, my kids, two of my youngest were fighting. They like came out screaming out of the room, and I was just like, this is not normal. My kids love each other. This is crazy. So I jump out of bed. I look down the hallway, and they're pointing at each other, blaming each other for what the other one did. And I see a 8-inch sphere of blackness pop out of the doorway into the hallway. And I just immediately got bad juju vibes. And I said, unclean spirits are not welcome here. And it just like blips off. Just blips off. And then I'm trying to figure out why we're still fighting, why we're still arguing. I am not my normal self. And my right foot started hurting really bad. Didn't know why. And then if anyone knows that specific instance, that's a key qualifier in this story. And my house started smelling like urine. So, I thought it was my 5-year-old at the time. He's 10 now. And I was just like, why is everything smelling like cat pee? I couldn't figure it out. I thought it was my nudist neighbor who couldn't put her clothes on to take her dogs outside. So she was taking her pee pads.
What an apartment complex.
No, it was a 2-flat, Chicago 2-flat.
This is a comic book in the making.
I thought that this was what was happening.
I've had some pretty shitty neighbors before, but never a pissy neighbor. That's a first one for me for the Chicagoland area.
It was a pissy nudist neighbor. She was from out of town. So anyway, yeah.
Let me guess, Wisconsin.
Yeah. God awful fun bags. She must have got rug burn when I saw those.
Oh
so
my gosh.
anyway.
Yep.
But
now I'm sick.
But I was trying to figure it out, man. I was just like, so I'm talking to one of my neighbors, and I'm just like, hey, do you smell this horrible smell? And he's like, no. I'm like, the only thing I can think of is a demon. And then that's when the light bulb clicked off, or clicked on. And yeah, dude, like my house, my 2-flat, it was demonically oppressed from my old drug dealer neighbor that lived above us in the comic book store. It was just sitting there watching us the whole time, watching how we operate, waiting for the right instance to inject its little freaking spell into us. And yeah, dude, it was scary.
What'd you do?
Not realizing that it was manipulating us the whole time. Since then, I've cleansed the house, said prayers, and it's been gone as much as I can say. But I don't know if it's fully gone. But as far as I can,
that's
confidently
crazy.
say,
I've seen that happen to people. Some entity has taken over the house and it's turned people against each other. The thing you're saying with causing pain, the smell, it's no joke. Man, it's wild, but at least it's not happening anymore. That's good.
It really isn't. Last thing I want to say
Yeah.
is this is my dream. Hacking is the best way I can say it. Is I was 7th or 8th grade. I was in a dream. I went to bed. My bed was a bunk bed. My younger brother was underneath. I was on top, and on the bunk bed. I'm not doing anything fucking weird. And
It's not the Island Boys.
Holy shit.
so, in between my bedroom and my parents' bedroom, there was a telephone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, landline, proper landline.
Good old days.
Before cell phones. Well, I mean, my dad had a cell phone, but it was for business.
Mm-hmm.
A brick, right? And so I'm sleeping. I'm dreaming that he. I'm being chased by some local school bullies. So this is at nighttime in my dream, and I find a way onto, or I manifest my way onto my friend's house, like on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just like, they're not going to let me go. Let me call their family. So all of a sudden, to the left of me, a phone manifests, a proper landline phone. I call it. I ask, like, hey, I'm stuck on your roof. Can you let me in? And his mom picks up, and she was like, oh my God, like, how why are you here? Whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then the dream ends. All I'm like figuring out is I'm back in my upper bunk. The phone starts ringing in my house, like about 10:30 at night. And my dad jumps up because no one should be calling our direct phone at that time. Mm-hmm. And he answers it, and he was just like, no. He's here. What are you talking about? And I wake up, and he's just like, hey, did you jump out of bed? Now, my dad is in construction. He's a light sleeper. He usually wakes up at 4:30 a.m. to get to work, showered by like 6 a.m. Mm. And he would hear every single creak and crack of my metal bunk bed. And I said, I'm just like, no, I dreamt that. So how did that happen? Right?
So someone called and said that they saw you there?
No, close. She called and said, I just answered a call from me saying that I called through the dream dimension.
Got you.
If you will. And she said, how the hell did he do that? And it was just never spoken ever again.
Did you have a history of sleepwalking at all?
Never.
Were you taking Ambien?
Ambien did not exist at the time.
Okay.
Right.
I had to check because Ambien actually does shit like that to people.
And we know your father was a light sleeper, so that's why.
My buddy literally got in his car in Kansas City, drove down the wrong lane of traffic, crashed into the playground at a McDonald's, and woke up in jail and was like, excuse me, can someone tell me why I'm in here? Ambien is like...
Oh, yeah.
It'll get you there, man. And you won't even know.
I've never done it, but I have heard some... nightmares.
It's crazy.
Was 1993.
Oh man, 93. What a year! What a year it was.
I was ripping through the dimensions.
Did she say you said anything in particular?
She reiterated exactly what I said in my dream.
Okay,
that
weird.
I was stuck on their roof. Dude, it was the craziest freaking story.
That's wild. Well, those are awesome stories, man. It's fun. Thank you for reminding me of some comic books and for Joe the Barbarian. I'll look it up.
And thank you for reminding me why I don't dream anymore. Definitely. I'm happy without that.
Thanks for the stories, man. Have a great night.
don't forget about Paul Ryan and being a descendant of Jesus
Oh, how
or
could I
whatever
forget?
he said.
I think he's a descendant of Satan, but I'll look it up.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it was.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. I've been waiting a long time to share these stories. I'm glad
cool.
everyone can hear these.
Awesome.
Have a great night.
You too, man. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. Incredible. Incredible. It'd be fun to do one of these live, like in front of an audience one day.
I think we can probably arrange that.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys,
It's going to take some help because there's a lot we're going to have to arrange.
It's not that hard. It's just
I'm gonna need a production team. I need Serge over here.
Yep. That's all right.
Probably
we'll
Kellen. I'm gonna draft Kellen.
That'd be fun. I'm gonna figure it out. If it's not at a Sheetz gas station, I'd like it at a Spirit Halloween, perhaps.
That would be cool. On location at the Martinsburg Spirit Halloween.
I already have one in mind.
That's the kind of shit I was talking about. I want to start doing. I want to get out to like some of these haunted ass places.
You're right.
See if we can find some way to get a road set up. I mean, what we need, like a satellite able to bounce a signal off of another one in space.
Yeah.
You know,
that doesn't seem too
I
hard.
feel like we can figure that out. So,
considering space is fake, it doesn't seem too hard.
Space is fake.
Space is fake. The sky is also a green screen. It's a bummer, but it's true, guys.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's a sheet with some holes punched in it and a
a
light behind it.
Nice. Another musical reference of the night, Incubus, everybody. Wonderful song. Let's get to another caller if we've got one. If we have someone lined up, we should let's hear from them. And I forget what the bets were. I saw people saying earlier how many calls we're going to have, but hopefully someone wins. That's all I want.
Real quick, obviously, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share the show. Emphasis on share the show. More shares, more popularity for us. Let's blow the show up. Let's get some more viewers. We want to be number one at night. Right now, we're working on maybe like 568. So, get us down to maybe 567.
Nice. That's not bad.
No, it's not too bad.
I love it.
That is probably not a real number. But
where do you even look? Yeah, I was like, where do you even find these? I don't even look.
I just randomized a number in my head.
I just see that people are calling in every night, and that is so different than how the show started.
I used to do the same thing on my algebra test, actually, which is why I never passed any of them.
We used to have maybe one caller, two callers, and it was tough. And to have every night multiple callers, so amazing.
Two call Shakur.
That's right. Ooh, I get that tattooed on my stomach. In front
Backwards
of the camera.
bandana, double knotted in the front. Let's go.
Don't tempt me. I've been thinking about getting tattooed while doing the show. It's just the only thing the problem is the sound.
See,
because I have a friend who has amazing, crazy paranormal stories. Who's a phenomenal tattooer, who's done a few on me. I wanted him to do that.
I would probably swear twice as much.
I'm so used to getting tattooed now. It's like it's not that bad. One of my first freelance writing jobs was when I managed a tattoo shop. I was also writing for magazines, and the deal was I started the series where I would interview the artists while they tattooed me. So you can go look up like Crooked Ken. Shout out to Crooked Ken in Maryland. He's one of the best. I have one with him, J.R. Tubbs, Adam Lauricella at Graceland Tattoo, Nathan Costeco. Someone from Uruguay, I don't remember your name, but my tattoo got infected and I almost died. And what was funny about that was the tattoo was a tombstone that said whatever. So I had to go to the hospital with my decaying leg and be like, yeah, I think I'm going to die. And they're like, really? It's a tombstone that says whatever. But it's for my grandfather, who the hearse driver, who he'd always say whatever about everything. So it seemed like a good idea. And then I ended up playing some baseball in some dirt and got it affected. But anyway,
I always wanted to have like a passive aggressive tombstone, if anything, like really
I think
just
it's a great idea.
tricks on the living.
Yes.
I mean, I don't really care if my name is on it, but just like
idea.
Just have something quoted on there like, well, I guess fuck me then, and
you should. I think that's great. I love that.
Don't mind me. I'm just dead down here. No big deal. NBD.
Oh man.
All right. Let's bring on Offshore J.
All right. Let's do it.
Offshore J, can you unmute your microphone?
Oh my goodness. People are calling out our band names. Who is that? Metal Flakes. I see that.
I believe Carlito was asking in chat, and
Wild.
somebody answered before I did.
Thanks, Metal Flakes. Yeah. Wow. They even called out Mavis. That is the old school.
Yeah, I think
What's
I think
up?
it's unmuted.
Whoa, yeah, you're back. What's up?
Welcome. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Doing good. Sorry about that. Bluetooth speaker, you know all that.
Oh yeah. Crazy machine.
What's going on tonight?
The Bluetooth got him. Oh.
I see some mic tweaking, but no audio.
So if you want to hear about demons, ghosts, what?
You can choose this time.
Well, Shane's a little tuckered out on the demons
don't
today.
take it- don't take it into
He's
account.
every time someone said the word demon, I've seen a little yawn come out of his mouth. So let's go with ghosts, I guess, on this one. Let's do that.
And he's abducted.
Oh.
Oh, do we have a time delay?
We might have a time delay.
Is he really offshore? Are you on Earth? Can you hear us? If there's a delay and you hear us, I'm going to keep speaking with major pauses in the middle so it keeps messing up.
Offshore Jay with the mic delay.
Ooh.
As the
Keep
remix.
going. Yeah. Offshore Jay. Oh, man. I was looking forward to this ghost story.
Yeah,
Do you
I
see
think
him? Do you see him?
I'm witnessing him. Yeah, I mean, notice me, senpai. Like he's in here. You know, it's just
Dang Bluetooth.
I got nothing right now.
Take the Bluetooth off and shoot it.
Motherfucker.
We heard that. Are you back?
You're back. You're back. I hope. Oh man, I feel bad. I hate when this happens to people. I feel bad that the technology hates all of us. So sorry.
Yeah, if you're listening to live stream, I highly advise against it. Definitely go off of your audio from the Zoom meeting. That's the only thing I can suggest because I don't know what the situation is over there.
Pets Dog says another crazy Shane job. I haven't even gone through all of them yet. I was a gravedigger part of this year. Did I say that yet?
Gravedigger.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think I did.
August 31st at the Rosemont Horizon. Tickets available now.
It was a peaceful job.
All right, we're gonna come back to Jay.
Sorry, dude.
Hey, let's go.
I'm leaving. Back to the
Let's
basement.
go.
I'm out.
Jinx, bitch.
I'm out. That was awesome. We like harmonized that.
Well, I guess speaking of pets, dogs, let's bring on pets,
Oh,
dogs.
sick. Look at that.
He's just calling them out tonight. I don't think this is the same Shane.
It does feel different. People are suspicious, and as they should be. I am too. Everything feels a little strange.
Hey,
Well-
what's up, fellas?
Welcome back, brother. What's going on?
Oh, not much. Man, you've had some crazy dreams or jobs. I swear, I thought my life was weird, but you were a rancher for how many years? A grave digger.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
managed a tattoo shop.
Yeah.
You're doing inverted world now.
I was a professor. I was a furniture mover. There's a few other things on there. I'm forgetting that were ridiculous. I worked at Dunkin' Donuts. I worked at a hardware store for 4 years. My first job was mucking horse stalls. My second job was painting a house and planting pumpkins at a place called Roe Park in Highland Falls, New York. But those are just a
Planting
few.
pumpkins in New York.
Yeah. Wild times. And I think I'm missing a lot. I've been poor forever, but working multiple jobs at the same time, just trying to make it by. But they're fun. Oh, and a golf course. That was a fun one.
Guitar MG says Shane was also OnlyFans for a bit.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Don't look those pictures up. They are more horrifying than any story you've ever heard on this show.
I promise you he's at least wearing those glasses, if nothing else. But I digress. So what's going on tonight, man?
Have you considered Undertaker?
Undertaker.
That's what I called him the first night he explained the whole horse situation to me. And
Yeah. I
wasn't feeling it.
I don't know if I could do it. I mean, I've been around the dead quite a bit, and I just something about that. There's a lot to that job. I have been with people grieving. I feel like that's a part of the job I can do, the grieving aspect and being there for a family. When I did that for like the furniture moving job, which was weirdly a part of people dying and grieving, but the Undertaker job, that's tough. My ideal job when I lose my voice forever and I can't walk anymore would be driving a hearse. as my grandfather did. It is the family tradition that I like to carry on. They have good leg room. I am 6'2", and I like a car with good leg room, and it's quiet, and the passengers don't talk.
And they have crazy big engines in them.
Yeah, dude, they're sick. Hearses are sick. They're underrated cars. Like, that would be my family car. You know, it's kind of a station wagon, but way better. You know, if I could put like another, like,
well, you said you wanted to travel to locations. Maybe Timcast could buy you a Hearst Mobile Ghostbusters.
This is a great idea.
Car.
This is a great idea. Tim Pool, get me a hearse.
I mean,
Dude, I mean, there were bands in Chicago over the course of the 20-something years I donated to the music scene there. There were, I want to say, 2, if not 3 bands that owned an old hearse.
So sick.
And they would use it to bring gear to the shows because it has the rollers in there for the casket.
Yep.
So it was real easy to just slide cabs in and out of it. You know, full size cabs, bass rigs, all that shit. Drums would come right out of it.
So good.
And I think we got to use one time, and it was pretty.
That's amazing.
Pretty unbelievable. I was like, this is oddly convenient, if not the creepiest shit I've ever rode in. But holy shit, that was easy.
Yeah, that's great. I think that's great. I love it.
Cops don't stop you.
Ooh. That's a great idea. And if you have your friends all traveling together, like if there's a group of you, just keep your headlights on. And
just have one of them laid down in the back and be like, hey, man, we just picked this guy up. You know, we got to get him. We don't got time, you know.
Yeah, it's so sick. Oh, yeah. Someone says was it Ghostbusters an ambulance or a hearse or an ambulance hearse?
It was kind of both. It looked like it was an old hearse that they had converted, if not like a huge, one of those massive old like station wagon, like Pinto looking things. Man. Had the big hatchback, but it looked like a hearse to me. And why wouldn't it be, you know, Ghostbusters? But
Yep. Well, those are great ideas. I love that. Imagine if we showed up and did that.
Can I say real quick, there was a lot of births on Timcast. I know your viewers have a lot of births. And I wanted to tell people that when your baby's born, we all talk about the amount of vaccines that they get. They give them a whole bunch. It's a giant slew when they get out. When my kid was born, I was freaked out about him, so I didn't want to give him any. Basically, they threatened to arrest me. Long story short, at the end of it, I found out of the something like 22 doses they wanted to give him, only 9 were required for me to give him before they'd legally allow me to leave the hospital.
What?
So a lot of people, they'll just bring him in. You don't know any better. They don't ask you, but you do have the right to refuse a portion of them and then spread them out later. You'll have to keep track if that's what you wish to do. But
I mean, you have the right to refuse all of them forever. It's just then you're gonna have to change your life, like what we've done. You know, we can't participate in certain schools. Not that I want to. You know, I don't want my kids in public schools anyway. And we do like this weird homeschool hybrid thing. But you know, we got kicked out of practices. We're telling the doctors up front at the hospital like we're not doing this, and they're like, how dare you? It's like when you tell TSA you don't want them to take a picture of your face. They're offended because you're not going to do it. I'm like, this has nothing to do with you anyway. You know, why does this kid need a Hep B shot? None of it makes any sense. So I feel you. Where were you? What state?
You had to give them legally. There were 9 that were federally required. I know there were like a religious exemption things that people were getting, but to me they were like cops were coming to like prevent me from going back in the room. They acted like, from what I understood from the legal department at that time, I had to give them 9. I could be wrong, and this was in 2006. So, but in my opinion, don't just slam your kid with all those stuff. Even if you're going to give them some, like don't hit them all at once, because like I've seen changes in my own kid in other people's kids. Like they need to be spaced out if you're going to give them to them. You know. So.
Yep. Totally agree, dude. If you're going to do it, definitely space them out. Don't be strong-armed. Don't be forced into doing something that you don't want to do. It's your kid. Yeah. You have the right to do it. You know your family history. I mean, look, our third and our second have none. Our first has a few, and we spaced those out. And then, I mean, that was like 10 years ago. And we were even then like, we're not going to do this. But we still thought, you know, maybe we'll do this in there. And we weren't going to homeschool at that point. We weren't sure what we were going to do. but we knew we wanted to. We thought 10 years ago we were going to participate in some form of society, which we don't anymore. Which obviously I don't miss it, but you know, he has a few, and man, we were shunned from my own pediatrician that I had as a kid, all these other places, and then in 2018 or 2019, it was so strange in New York. They took the religious exemption away, like a year before COVID, and then all the Jews, because there's a lot of Jews in the Hudson Valley, they were pissed. They're like, "You're not making us take vaccines." And I was like, "Yeah, good for them." I was like, "But nothing's going to happen where they're going to force all of us to get vaccines." All of a sudden, lo and behold, a year later, they're like, "You're all going to die if you don't take this shot. 6 feet separation," you know. And man, it was crazy times.
Yeah, it was. I took a flu pneumonia vaccine combination and a tetanus shot when I was 30, and I spent the next 10 years fighting to learn how to walk again. It destroyed my life, man. My whole body swole up, every nerve. Like if you picture a golf ball, if you cut it in half and you glued them about an inch apart all the way up my body like a pattern that followed my nervous system, I looked like some sort of Klingon.
Wow.
The doctors, if you say vaccine, they will close their notepad, and so I had to stop saying it. But I spent over like all my savings, and in the end, the only thing that I could do was diet through naturopaths, and I found a good nutritionist, and it was the only way I could fight my way back. But it took me 10 years, and I'm probably like still 80%, and I've never been able to gain the weight back.
Damn.
I lost almost a third of my body weight and almost died. My organs were starting to get to the point where they're eating themselves because I couldn't tolerate food.
Dang, man.
And that was just I don't know if it was the tetanus or the flu pneumonia, but it was one of them. And it was the doctors will run from you like you have Ebola yourself. I'm serious, like they do. No, none of them will help you. None of them will want anything to do with you.
Listen to this.
They don't
like
want their name attached.
We were very fortunate enough to get a house in New York, something I never thought we would get with all of our ridiculous jobs. Somehow we got a house, and we closed on that house the day New York shut down. And it was this old house from like the 1840 or 1850. So it needed a lot of work. It was dilapidated, but it was like our dream house. We like old dying things, and loved it. Then the world fell apart even more. And then I got this job opportunity, and we had to sell that house, and we had to find a house down here. And, the only way we can get a house down here is selling that house. We couldn't float both. So we sold it, moved down here, and we bought a house from this lady who was like a paraplegic. And she could hardly talk, hardly open her mouth. And she was confined to a wheelchair. I thought she was born like that. And then something came up in the sale where she needed to go to her parents' house for some paperwork, and somehow my wife drove her from West Virginia out somewhere in the middle of Virginia. It was I think they were in a car together for like 3 hours. It was very bizarre that this was even happening, but we were like, sure, we'll help. She had no help. And my wife finds out in the car ride that she was a perfectly normal lady her entire life, was an ER doctor, planning on retiring soon, forced her to get the shot, and it did that to her. And she's now in a wheelchair forever, can hardly talk. So you're just reminding me of this because all of her colleagues were like, nope, wasn't that, but like everyone knew it was that because it happened the second she got it. She collapsed, and man, that
and me and
insane.
her are probably on no statistic. They don't.
Nope.
Everybody talks about the reporting system and all this.
Yep.
I'm not. I guarantee you, 10 years ago into doctors, that I'm not on any report, any column, any statistic of anyone ever. You know what I mean?
They have no idea how much damage it did because they refuse to accept it did damage. And they don't even know how many. They're like, it saved lives. You don't even know. That doesn't even make sense. Like, how are you going to say it saved lives? You don't know what it did. But I've seen a lot of stuff with my own eyes, and it's damaging.
I spent the last 4 years going through the same thing.
Yeah, dude.
And barely just made it back myself. So
Horrible.
and I can't go into techniques right now about what it was that did it or anything else, just because of the way that things are and in the times that we're in and the things that are allowed to be said publicly and not still, which I think is a crock of shit. But it definitely sucks. I'm extremely proud of you for dealing with it for 10 years and not succumbing to the bullshit, because the first year of me going through that, there were definitely times I considered taking that one-way trip down to the lobby of the hotel room. You know, and
I hear you, dude.
it sucks. It's really hard to get through. You feel completely isolated and alone. Like there's no one who understands what you're going through. You end up going to the internet to find other people that are like you, to try to just get some sense of semblance, because the doctors are nonstop gaslighting you and telling you bullshit. And if it's not a detectable, diagnosable disease, we can't treat you for it. So basically, here, go home on some B vitamins and, call us if it gets any worse.
Yeah.
So I feel you, brother. I'm happy that you've been able to rebound from that. It's a real shit journey to have to go through by yourself. I wouldn't do it again if I had the option to. It was absolutely mortifying situation that completely destroyed my quality of life for who knows how many years going forward. You know, I'm still obviously completely fucked up from this whole situation too. So I feel you there,
Yeah,
brother.
my dad took a certain shot I couldn't talk him out of, and he went from working 50 hours a week to basically retired in 2 weeks, and barely able to push he used to come home from work and like mow the lawn or paint something. And he went from working 50 hours or 60 and showing up early, staying late, coming home, doing stuff, to breaking the lawn job up to like 2-3 days.
Yeah.
And I watched the veins in his legs get dark, and he didn't make it much more than 2 years, but he was forced to get that, and then they fired him when he wouldn't take the update. But
Yep.
yeah, with that backstamage stuff, you'll find out who your friends are real quick when you get sick.
Absolutely.
How much, who your employer and who's family and who's not. You'll lose everybody around you.
I mean, hell, you'll lose everybody nowadays for telling them who you voted for. I mean, let's be realistic. The times aren't like they used to be. People are not loyal anymore.
Yep.
You know, the few people that you have that are loyal, that are in your circle, are the people you try to keep around your entire life, because there just aren't any other quality people out there, it feels like, anymore, which is real shit. So the community is not there for each other half the time, if at all. For shit like this, it's really just about like, see, I told you this guy's a fucking idiot. Don't be like him. Let's move on and laugh, and we'll look for the next morbid thing to watch on the internet and laugh at that as well. That's really all it is now, man.
So
It
evil.
sucks.
You don't have to answer now. I'm just gonna throw it out there, but I think these are important things to talk about. This is why I want Anthony Fauci to go away forever, and why
not the only
I'll
one.
never forget about COVID and anyone on the right or the left telling me to move on. You're dead to me, because like I will never forget what they did to us.
I honestly really want to write like a book
Well, that's what I was
about
gonna
the
say.
entire damn thing and just call it
should do that.
COVID-19. Boy, what a time we had.
You should do that, but considering what the rules are on YouTube, I mean, I'm okay with taking the risk and just seeing what happens on YouTube. But we could always do something on Rumble where you can just go crazy and say everything, and Rumble's there. So you don't have to answer that now, but
We might have to do that one night,
just get off your chest,
because I got a lot of shit
yeah, and maybe we even
I
say
can
something,
say, and I can back it all up.
We'll do it
I've
live.
got medical records. I have doctors that have corroborated this
We'll
information.
do it live, so
with me.
people we'll even invite callers on, make it like a caller thing, like anyone who was affected by this, not just from the shot and stuff, but also anyone affected by just lockdowns and with thoughts.
Hey,
We could do like a whole thing.
We could do like a pre-record or something and air it on a Friday,
Yeah, we should do that.
something along those lines. Yeah, I'd be down for that. I ain't scared.
Yeah,
Let's do
I
it.
think that's good. Sick. Well, dude, it was a pleasure to hear from you.
Just real
Yeah.
quick, I'm sorry. I say a lot of things when I talk to you guys, and I don't realize that you're streaming on YouTube too. I'm watching Rumble. What, like,
Yeah.
just for the audience, like, what are some of the do's and don'ts for your calls? Is cussing like allowed but not preferred? Is like,
I personally,
what is it? Just generally what we know about YouTube, avoid that stuff.
I'm not
Like,
one. I'm really bad at rules, but what Tim would say is don't threaten to kill anybody.
Yeah,
And I try not to do that.
You can't
I try not to do that anyway.
You can't wish harm upon anybody. There's certain derogatory words that aren't allowed. Swearing is okay up to a certain extent now. They've rolled their restrictions back on that, which is why I have such a potty mouth now.
But
on
even the
YouTube,
derogatory words, like they change all the time, and I think if you go past a certain part of the episode, they don't even care. But
they say don't swear in the first like 7 seconds
say?
of the video or something along those lines. But this these guidelines had more to do with like advertisers, I think, than anything else. Because if they saw that, they wouldn't want to be associated with you, so you wouldn't get ad supported.
Right. And they say no financial advice. Not that we give any on this show, because trust me, you don't want financial advice from me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't even think about it because I don't really think about threatening people. I mean, I think about sometimes the people who hurt children of doing things, but
and even then, they don't want you wishing harm upon those people, even though they are the saddest, lowest pieces of scum that exist on the earth.
I'll just say removed from society.
You guys' show is over. Do you mind if I say something on the way out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
So I just want to remind people that Bill Gates said that he thinks he can create a vaccine that would stop you believing in God, for that, what that's worth.
Ain't that something?
Also, if you think back to the first Iraq war, this is what I was going to call and talk to you about, but you think back to that first war when they played that song, Voice of Free Iraq, that actually had a track attached to it that had this mind control frequency that basically induced hopelessness and depression. I
don't remember that.
Army gave up the next day. It's a kind of a cool story, and that's how HARP was built. They took that, but I'd like to tell you about talk about that some. That's kind of a cool like it's pretty much an open secret what they did, and basically the brain has no firewall, and they got those people to surrender. If you go back and watch the videos, trained soldiers just walk in lines, give up, and then all the people turned on the government. That war was over in like 7 months from start to finish, man. It was, and then we got HARP, and then we got whatever comes after that. But hey, thanks again for having me on, you guys, and congratulations on your 100th show.
Thank you. Thanks, man. It's a pleasure to hear from you. Yep, and call back. We'll continue this conversation.
Oh crap, Shane! One more thing.
Yeah.
I sent you a picture yesterday, and it's from Your Life Is Your Fault, and it's a picture of my grandpa. He worked for the government. You'll see the picture in there when you see it. But I also want to tell you his story, because even though all his files should be FOIA requestable, they won't release anything. My dad's brother has it drove him crazy. Pretty much all the stuff is blacked out, but you'll see some keywords in that article that'll kind of tell you maybe what you think about what that dude was up to, because we don't know.
Interesting.
But
yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Once again, good night, guys, and thanks again.
Thanks, man. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Well.
Well, shout out to Artificial Dissemination HD, who has just rated the stream, but unfortunately, we are about to get out of here.
Oh, well, thank you so much. We are getting out of here, but you can rewind to the very beginning and see us talking about how you just survived a narrow asteroid attack. You narrowly survived an attack by a plane-sized asteroid. We also talked about Epstein. We talked about Fauci. We had some great callers. So give us a little rewind and spend this early part of Thursday with Inverted World Live. Brandon, tell them where they can find you.
As always, you guys can find me at Brando Inverted on Insta and on X. Thank you so much to all of our callers for the night. Thank you to you guys hanging out. We appreciate it very, very much, more than you know. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the show with everybody you know. Let's keep growing this thing and get us to, what the hell number did I say, 576? Or I don't know. It was a made-up number anyway. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Much love to you guys. Don't forget to stay weird. Shane, get us out of here.
I don't care what they say. We're number one. It's because of you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us again. We will see you later tonight. You guys are the best. Have a great night. Bye.